Hold it right there.
Whoa!
Why does it feel like I waited a month to say that?
That's probably because we were driving for a month straight.
Huh. Anyways, do you realize how fast you were going?
I am Speed?
Nice try, but I know what Lightning McQueen sounds like. I've played all the car games.
Ruh-roh.
Wait a second. Where do I know you from? Oh, you're under arrest.
What? I wasn't even driving.
You did a lot of other crimes, and the chief would legitimately kill me unless you're in my custody.
Wait. Hang on, I can fix this. Let me just grab out this.
Waddle Dee?
Yepers. This Waddle Dee plush is all yours for the low price of getting me off the hook.
Alright, give me that.
So, can I get out of being arrested?
No.
Rats. What's your opinion on Deblob? That's right. For the first episode of Detour, we're looking at the Wii version of Deblob, and no other versions.
We didn't care enough to do anything else.
What he said. Anyways, Deblob is a very palate-pleasing and interesting-looking platformer with quite the tricks up its sleeve. But we'll save that for later. Being released in 2008, it's a fairly unique take on the genre at the time, especially for a company who solely made licensed games like THQ. That really rings true when you look at the thing you see the most. The graphics of this game have really helped hold it up today. They don't try and do anything crazy, nor are they the same basic visuals that you see in most shovelware titles. Though even comparing this to a shovelware title is quite rude. This game really is more like a time capsule of an era. The cel-shaded graphics, the goofy animations, little to no strong lighting, just pure, raw fun. I sound like a, what's it called? An elitist? This attribute is also carried into the cutscenes that are just Nicktoons in their purest form.
Yeah, that's probably because they worked on 5 different Nick games almost every year prior to this one.
Oh yeah! But here's the thing, we're forgetting something important. That's the...
So I don't know if you guys know this, but this game is pretty colorful.
No, really?
Yeah, I was surprised when I found out too.
What? Do you seriously... I probably should have known that you don't know what sarcasm is.
Regardless, a lot of this game's gameplay elements revolve around a variety of paint colors. So let's talk about it. Whenever entering a given level, Blob starts out as a clear, viscous water drop. He can't really do anything in this form, only really jumping around and moving a bit. But it's when the first victim appears that you can take your anger out on the people that have made this mortal plane. A colorless, bland, gray hellscape that we call a city. You know, stuff like that. You see that funny little spider there? Kill it. Great job! Now that you've tasted the blood of your enemies, you may have noticed that your colors have changed. That's because you didn't actually taste blood. You tasted paint. Good job, loser. Now that you're filled to the brim with that colorful chemical, you can paint over everything. Buildings, walls, billboards, cars, people. Yeah, you know, normal stuff like that. However, there is a limit to how much you can paint. The bar in the lower right tells you how much color you have in your system, and once it's out, Blob will return back into water. No one likes water, Blob, because apparently being see-through isn't cool. What a loser. Of course, to paint anything, you need to be able to move around, which leads us to the basic controls. You see, Deblob has gotten a lot of modded re-releases, but I never played any of them. I played the Wii version because I didn't care. So, I'm just gonna assume those are just the universal controls of the game, alright? Alright, cool. Shoving your thumbstick along the stick of the Wii nunchuck allows you to move Blob in a given direction. Crazy idea, the analog moves the character, I know, but I just want to note how loose the controls feel. Every move you make, whether you're running around or sliding across walls, you can feel how slippery and goopy he is for each and every action you take. It almost feels like you're controlling a raindrop moving down a car window. It's not crazy complicated, but it's super unique and gives this experience its own game feel. Even jumping feels like there's a certain weight in Blob's movement. Look, this kind of thing doesn't bother me since I grew up during the time when motion controls were always ham-fisted into video games. 2006 was glorious. And like I said, there are other versions of the game without motion controls, so if you don't want it, you don't have to buy it. But it is a bit noticeable how a lot of the uses of motion controls feel like they're slapped in the game without any rhyme or reason. I kind of feel like jumping could have been mapped to the A button, and it would have offered the same kind of experience. Shaking the Wii remote does the job, but even with my insane tolerance for motion controls, I can't help but feel like they're unnecessary. This isn't the only implementation of them either. Whenever faced against an enemy, Blob can Z-target them, exactly like how 3D Zelda games work. And with a quick swing of the Wii remote, Blob automatically jumps onto there? I'm not actually sure what Blob is, but I guess for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna assume it's his prey, cause that's awesome. And I'm not trying to assume his gender, I swear. Other than the obvious use of motion controls, this is a pretty nifty way to kill enemies, considering how slippery Blob can be at times. This feature is used for platforming challenges throughout some of the stages, where the game asks you to home in on these little funny circles and jump between each and every one. The result is Blob leaping across huge areas across the stage. A spectacle, no doubt. Awesome. All of these funny elements combine to create the goopiest, the gamiest character in gaming. And his strengths and weaknesses are put to the test within each level. Speaking of which...
This game is wonderfully crafted in terms of levels. Each piece of scenery isn't a part of a game. It's some home that you have to save. The actual levels as a whole really go for different vibes that have nothing in common, which I can appreciate. The objective of every level is to just go to the finish line. Very easy, it's simple, and fun, right?
Yeah, why wouldn't they be? It's not like they have...
Every single level I have yet to beat in under half an hour. Why? 10 levels in half an hour at minimum? That's insane! And it's not just because they're super long and boring. One of the strongest and weakest areas of this game we have our ragtag group of rebels that I introduced at the beginning. As you can see, we have...
That's Cranky Gong!
Max and the Magic Marker's long-lost green sister. It's Game Man, B-Boy!
And kill, kill, kill!
Now, you may be wondering how each mission functions. Luckily for you, I don't have to spend 5 hours explaining everything, unlike the time it takes me to beat the levels in this game.
For Mr. Cranky, you're tasked with taking over the main bases of the Inkies, as you're the messiah to basically what is the French Revolution.
Mrs. Explosion's starting artist on wants you to color certain areas with certain colors. Zippy McFly over here wants you to rush over and run into flares. See how that works out for a blob. In terms of variety, there's not much to them, but that's okay, seeing as most of the challenge comes from the levels. These include a plethora of placed enemies all over the map in such a way to screw you over as much as possible. Oh, and the hazards are also out to get you. They really do help flesh out the game and keep it fresh. With that said, so much pain, confusion, and annoyance come from these missions. If you die, you fail. If you run out of time, you fail. Can't find one crate that haunts you for the rest of your life? You know the drill.
This really is a society, Batman.
Can I just point out how much that timer is really pointless to me? Why have it? You know what happens when you run out of time? Absolutely nothing! When you lose a life, that's it. From the introduction of the game, I was thinking that something similar to Jet Set Radio would happen, where every police in a 5,000-mile radius would come to beat you to death. But no, that timer really and truly means nothing to this game, other than taking up free space on the top left.
Dude.
Sorry, I just got a little gamer rage.
Oh yeah, I know about that.
Another issue with the missions and the game as a whole is how the map is handled. The A button brings a ring around you, which looks pretty cool, but functionality is a no-go. It honestly led to more problems later down the line. If that were me, I'd probably rearrange the entire menu first. Get rid of the timer mechanic for the free roam. Make it to where if you're liberating the blocks while in a challenge, it gives you extra time, which it already does. Then, move most of the menu items from the right to the left. In that right space, I would put a proper map to help me navigate most of the cities. Most of the other systems are pretty cool, despite their many egregious flaws. Another aspect that really hit was... Wait, what's that?
Guys, this game's music is immaculate. Undoubtedly, this is the game's greatest achievement. The music is absolutely phenomenal. And I get to talk about it? Composed by John Guscott, I hope I said that correctly, there are 17 tracks in the game, all of which have their own different vibe and theme. It has jazz, funk, some kind of Brazilian style music. I don't know what it specifically is, but it's awesome, trust me. Not only is the music really good, but all of this wouldn't stand out if it wasn't for its implementation in the game itself. And it's honestly kind of genius. Instead of each level having a dedicated track, this game makes you choose what music you have before entering a level. This has to be one of the most unique ways a game has gone around not creating level themes, but it's actually really cool. You can even listen to them within the menu itself, which is pretty neat. It kind of feels like you're shopping for a banger. But that's only scratching the surface of what's truly unique about the game's OST. Because remember when I said there are 17 tracks in this game? Well, I actually lied, because there are actually more than 120 different tracks. I'm dead serious. But that can't be right. If there are a set amount of tracks in the game, how can there be more? I can hear you ask. And yes, it is true that the amount of music in the game is 17, but the variety of different types of the very same music is even more. Here, let me explain. Whenever you enter any given level, it doesn't play any music since the area has no paint. It feels kind of dry and lifeless without it. But the more you paint the world with your infectious color and groove, the more the music becomes upbeat and funky. This is a neat way to reward players that take the time to paint everything in the world, to slowly see the progression of the track reach its absolute funkiest. They even account for whenever you paint an individual building. Depending on what color you exude, a particular audio stinger will ring out whenever you paint a surface. In the track that's playing currently, which is called Blissful, striking a surface with the color blue creates a guitar sound effect. Red is completely a cappella. And brown, I'm not joking, is a record scratch. What even? That is the least likely thing I would have expected, and yet it's completely awesome.
Sounds a bit racist to me.
Shut up like Smosh! In conclusion, these simple implementations into the music almost make the track feel in tandem with the game. It feels like a colorful fiesta and adds to why the gameplay feels as satisfying as it does. But it also helps that this game is freaking banging. Just listen to this!
Gert!
What's up?
You done?
Yeah, but like, the music though. No, Amber, you can't do this to me. I just wanted to listen to the music some more.
Finally! Now I'm just gonna start walking away. Oh, what? How? Huh?
I put a poll there.
You what? I should be the only one to do that. I'm the animator. You can't just leave me here.
You're
Hey,
loud.
do you hear me?
Let's just turn that
literally
down.
created this entire freaking series. I'm making so many
Anyways,
more. You know how
thanks
many
guys
times
for
I've
watching.
Lord,
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe,
I had so much art in my
ask my dad where he went with the milk. Hey, goodbye, subscribe, or else I'll murder your entire family. Smile. What do you want? You're interrupting my 3 a.m. gone wrong, gone sexual Kirby gaming session.
Gone sexual? What do you mean by that? Ugh, never mind. Not important right now. So, you caught him?
Oh, Bert? Yeah.
Well, where is he?
I left him tied to a pole in the middle of the road.
A pole? Whatever. As long as you got him, I'll grab him tomorrow.
Cool, thanks.
Good job.
There is no way I died at the last fucking phase of Void Termina. There's no way. This stupid arena is way too long. It's too hard. God, I'm not even using Maglet.